AKA Padders, thank you for joining me. Welcome to AKA Pad's Audio Audacity podcast. This this is where me, the pop culture king, roast beef sandwich, your boy over here, does nothing but talk to you about movies. Now, we're talking something special here. This is somewhat of a preview episode to my next 5 episodes. We're going to episodes 302, 303, 304, 305, and 306. What are we doing in these 6 episodes? We're doing DC's animated universe. A lot of people you guys don't even know this exists. I'm going to bring it to you. Let's get through that intro, and I love you. Let's do this. So, do we have to get personal? Do I have to get personal with you? Okay. I'm talking to you. This is one of my biggest breaks I've ever given myself. Now, I've been on vacation. I've done stuff. A lot of times, I will say, I feel like I don't have to be on vacation because I feel like my life itself is a vacation. I live a good life. I have a lot of fun. I live in Philadelphia. And holy crap, I suck all the marrow out of my life. Now, my father died a couple days ago. And, I'm not going to say I'm done mourning. This is a part of it. Okay, so all of you with me, all the energy that you guys feed me through the airwaves, through your love, it is well received. Now, I'm a guy. I have to work. I have to do things. And I'm not going to get into anything more when it comes to the death of my father. But I think for a little bit post, on the intro, after the intro, usually, there's like some music that signals the end of the episode. I'm just going to, have a quick word to say about my father, and this will be standard on every episode of AKAPAD's Audio Audacity podcast for a stretch of time, okay? Because I feel like with this, I have unfinished business. And I feel like with my father, I have unfinished business. And this is the tragedy of losing people suddenly and quick. You never feel like you've done it all. You always feel like you need one more day. And you miss them immediately. So, with that being said, DC Comics. Okay, everyone's talking about DCEU. On this podcast, I've done a lot of effort when discussing the DC Cinematic Universe. But here's the crazy thing. I haven't done a lot of animation, and I've never really touched on these DC movies outside of the death of Superman and the reign of Superman, which was kind of like a 1-2 movie combo that John and I went to back in the day. Not too long from here. Give me one moment. Excuse me. I had to get a sip of coffee there. So there's quite a few movies in this stack. I'm just going to go through them with you. And the reason why I'm doing 5 movies of this stack, because the continuity is going to get marbled. I believe the 5 that I selected from what I'm about to read off to you is, I think it's there. I think it's the perfect way to get into these movies. And from there, you can add what you want. Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox. That came out in 2013. Number 2, Justice League War 2014. Now, both of these are already based on successful DC comic miniseries. But they're also a part of this animated tapestry. So the producers and directors for this, they're taking modern DC comic book ideas and they're shaping them into a larger story. This is really cool. We have Son of Batman 2014. Our 2015 entries are Justice League Throne of Atlantis. And then it's Batman vs. Robin. 2016, It's Batman, Bad Blood, Justice League vs. Teen Titans. 2017, Justice League Dark, Teen Titans, The Judas Contract. 2018, Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. Oh, I'm sorry. Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay is 2017. In 2017, we also have Justice League Dark. 2018, I'm sorry, here we go. Suicide, Hell to Pay, and The Death of Superman. And then we have Constantine, City of Demons, the movie. That's the actual title. 2019, Reign of the Superman, Batman Hush. Then we have Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Wow, they really cranked it up towards the end. They're putting out 3 a year. Then 2020, Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. Now, moving forward, the 5 that I've selected: Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox, Justice League War, Constantine, City of Demons, Justice League Dark, and then Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. Now, the viewing order of Constantine and Justice League Dark can kind of go either way, but I'm going to be reviewing them and discussing everything in somewhat release order. So it's going to be Paradox, War, Dark, Constantine, and then Apocalypse War. So why did I want to commit? Look, we just finished the road to 300. Where did this enthusiasm, commitment come from? Because look, here's the thing: when I was watching Justice League Apocalypse War, because I love stories that deal with the end of times, the end of characters, that sort of thing. I've loved them ever since I was a kid. But when I was a kid, I made this comic book called Heroes that I literally introduce and kill nearly everyone in the book within 50 pages. So ever since I was a kid, I've always been disappointed with comic book events when they don't commit to the bit and really start executing people. My adult reasoning for that now is because I'd like to see the windows open for new characters. But we really don't get much of that right now. So when I was watching Apocalypse War, I was kind of saying, I was like, oh, isn't it kind of cool that, because they kind of referenced Flashpoint Paradox in that. And I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if the Flashpoint started this new universe, and then this new universe has this thread, and lo and behold, as soon as I started to research it, it actually is a thing. That's actually what they were doing. Next episode, I'll get into exactly what a Flashpoint Paradox is. But here's the cool thing, everyone. Here's the really cool thing. I just had a similar revelation when I just watched Stephen King's It Chapter 2. And it blew my mind because I realized it's the only epic horror movie. It 2017, 2019 is and always will be the only epic horror movie. And as soon as I started digging in this, I had to buy a few of them on Amazon Instant. We're dealing with the only epic animated story, because we have a beginning, we have an end. We have a clear beginning and we have a clear end. The beginning part blows my mind. Everything picks up someplace. But with Flashpoint Paradox, we literally have the birth of a new universe that goes directly into Justice League War. Holy crap. And then from Justice League War on, we deal with a saga of heroes, gods, and magic. And the magic parts in this are so well done, especially in Constantine, City of Demons. This is adult. This is magic. This is superheroes. This is DC at its finest, because this idea that DC Comics needs to be glowing and smiley is boring and for the birds. Jeff Johns has been trying to fight against what people want from DC for a while now. This is also a guy that cranked up the Flash villains like no other. So he made like a lot of his books darker. He actually helped usher in this darker period for DC Comics that started with Crisis, with Identity Crisis, the Brad Meltzer miniseries. But, you know, books were, these companies were a lot bigger back then. You could kind of have these different fractions. So, this is, these 5 movies strung together is a literal animated epic opus that you can say, like, comparatively speaking, maybe there's some animated series like Avatar that compare. That is true. But I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy when you watch these 5 movies together in this order. Now, what else do I recommend? If you really wanted to do a true deep dive, I recommend Justice League Throne of Atlantis. I recommend Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. Hell to Pay and Apocalypse War are really the only 2 that lend themselves to Paradox, to the beginning. They reference it and they have characters directly linked. The death of Superman and the reign of the Superman also. And then like everything in between is mostly the Dark Knight. And this is kind of the Dark Knight magic universe. When you go through the stack of movies I just read off to you, it really, really lends itself to how dependent DC Comics is on the Dark Knight. Even box office wise, everything kind of does well. But you see the box office for like Constantine or the numbers from Constantine, and it's considerably different. Okay, people just want the Dark Knight, period. Which is why they really have to work with that character, because I've said it before. Dark Knight should not just be a vigilante. He needs to be a meta. He needs to be a hyperhuman. He needs to be super powered. Period. It's the only way to, because even in this he throws bombs. He flips around and throws bombs. Okay. And he's always, like, even in Justice League Dark, he's out of his element even when it comes to magic. But he needs an edge. But anyway, everyone. So coming up, episode 302 is going to be Justice League Paradox. Or as I say, Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. Whatever. It should be Flashpoint. It should be Justice League Flashpoint. But whatever, Flashpoint Paradox sounds better, I guess. But look, let's do this. So get ready, episode 302, Justice League Paradox. Consider this your intro. I'm excited to bring you one of the only, I'll say, it's the only animated epic ever. We're back on that. Everyone, until next time, rock and roll.